Why do so many shops have tattoos?
I think because they're accepted. I mean, it's not, I don't really know.
I'm Jake Meeks. This is Clint Jackson. I draw pictures. He makes food. That's our story. I met Clint through a consultation. I don't know how you found me though.
Actually, when I was running City Hall Cheesecake in Carterville, Tim Howard, covered in tattoos.
Yeah.
So I asked him about a few of them. He pointed me to you, found Instagram. That was it.
Now that you mention that does sound familiar. I remember you. Tim sends me a lot of people. For those anyone who doesn't know, Tim Howard plays soccer. He was the starting goalkeeper for the U.S. national team, the Olympic team. Played for Manchester United, Everton. This isn't really a Tim Howard commercial, but he's a soccer megastar, and he's our friend.
Look, soda.
Clint came in. It was pretty straightforward. He kind of left it all up to me. We had a couple of challenges. There are 2 cover-ups in the tattoo. He wanted to do a kind of celestial space scene, but due to the shape of the existing tattoos, it made it a little bit tough just to do like, say a galaxy with a swirl where planets were sitting, like a traditional kind of layout where you would have a lot of spheres that sat in perspective. One of the tattoos that was on kind of the back on his tricep was really long and narrow, so I couldn't really cover it easily with a sphere. So that's where a lot of these kind of organic shapes, I needed shapes that I could make changes on the fly on the skin in order to make the cover-up effective. So that dictated my layout for the tattoo. That's the thing with cover-ups. A lot of times you can't always take a super traditional approach. When you have shapes that you have to cover, you have to get creative.
Oh, it was 2 early tattoos done a long time ago, and just want to change. People say you can't take a tattoo off, but you can cover them up.
So do you follow like a lot of tattoo artists online?
No, I don't really follow any tattoo artists other than Jake. I looked at quite a few when before I came here. I don't know if there's any like one piece that caught me. I saw a few different sleeves. I saw a few different, just one like smaller pieces. I saw a bunch of different styles, but the ones I liked, I saw paintings he was actually doing, and I thought a space painting would be what I was looking for. No super hard reason. There's no backstory. I like space. I like the science. This is one of the last places that you don't know everything about.
So Clint was very trusting with me on this piece, and it's taken a while, longer than I realized that it had. He just reminded me today how long we've been working on it. But about a year, and so I normally half sleeves only take me maybe 4 sittings or so, but we're well over that on this one, and it's because of the way that I approached it. I came into it like a painting, so I treated it as a block in and an underpainting. We've slowly built textures up, and now what we're doing is we're coming back and we're punching all of our darkest darks and sharpening all of our edges and kind of doing all the finishing stuff. And the trick to approaching a tattoo like that is, I thought I was going to be done probably 2 sittings ago, and then you see it settled in and you're like, nah, I should punch that a little further. It's a lot like walking into your studio at the start of a day when you thought that you had kind of finished a painting the night before, and you go like, oh no, actually I could refine that edge a little bit more, I could deepen those shadows a little bit more. And this approach was kind of like that. It wasn't a traditional tattoo approach at all. I don't know that I told him I was going to do that on the front end, but it was something I was thinking about, and that was mainly due to the cover-up. I knew that I was going to be dealing with a lot of textures. The cover-up wasn't really finished tattoos. They were line-based, and the lines were super heavy. So that a lot of times is harder than covering a solid shape, because those lines really want to jump back out in tattoos. So I knew I needed a lot of texture, and I knew I needed to find clever ways to disguise it. And so I thought this would be the best approach. Yeah, you may have to ask him. It's typically I use bactine throughout the process. So usually the tattoo gets more comfortable as time goes on because you're wiping over it and it's kind of numbing out with. But there are still limitations whether or not it's too painful for him. Normally, I stop on a tattoo like this Not so much because it's getting too painful, because the skin is getting to the end of its workability for the day. You can only layer so much at a time, and then you have to let it settle, or you're going to end up redoing it anyways, because it's going to heal hard.
Well, it's definitely more painful sitting in the chair before the new chair.
Oh, yeah.
The new chair makes a big difference.
Thank you, Earthlight.
Yes.
I don't know why I'm thinking them. I had to pay for that thing. It's like $3,000. I think in today's tattoo climate, you have to build your shop like a boutique. And I know all the hardcore, like old school tattooers will jump on me over that statement. But I think that if you're not thinking about the client's comfort, then they're gonna find someplace else that's more comfortable, especially with large scale work. No one wants to sit for 6 or 8 hours at a time in a plastic chair, which is what I've had people doing, and it just gets old. So comfort pays for itself because it allows you to get a lot more accomplished, work longer, and get through projects faster. People fall asleep in the chair a lot, especially my new comfy chair. Yeah, they do. It's amazing how many people sleep. And it's amazing how many people are like heavy sleepers and heavy snorers while they're getting tattooed.
I've almost fallen asleep here.
Have you?
I'm too nervous that I'll twitch or something.
Oh, yeah.
While you're in the middle, and just didn't want to take that risk.
Yeah. I haven't had anyone really twitch hard or anything. No, that's probably not. I have had people though. Usually they'll jump whenever you go. It's funny, they'll sleep through the tattoo, and then when you wipe them, it's just the cold of the wipe that's like, oh, was I asleep?
Has anybody ever snored?
Oh yeah, loud. I have a couple of people. Chris Cloyce. I'll call him out. My buddy Chris Cloyce, who I've been tattooing forever, he'll snore. For me, it's about 6.5 hours a day. I work from noon until about 6:30 every day. Yeah, but I mean, I know tattooers that work way longer. A lot of these realism guys these days that have to get their tattoo finished in one sitting, or it's really helpful if they do, they may be working 10 to 13 hours at a time, and that's brutal. I think when you're done at 6 hours, right? Yeah, nobody wants to work more than that.
That's about it for me.
Yeah.
So does that include cleanup and like getting everything ready?
No, that's actual tattoo time. I get here a few minutes early, generally, so that I'm ready to tattoo. It doesn't always work that way, but the idea is that I'm ready to tattoo when they show up, and then we break down between 6 and 6:30, from noon to 6:30, and then it takes me another 30 minutes to break down, so I'm out of here by 7 usually.
Yeah, I'll probably be back whenever he opens the books back up. Clear out some space next year or something.
So you want like the same artist throughout the same area, or?
Yeah, I think my follow-up tattoos will probably be here with Jake. Probably just extending this down a little bit.
Yeah, and that may be fun to extend and pull off of a piece, because you can see how a piece ages and you can complement it, kind of with the new piece. One thing that we've done in this tattoo is we kept it very soft and painterly, and so we can play with transitioning it to something that's super dynamic and hard-edged or something and see what that does, or that's the beauty of drawing on digitally these days. You can solve a lot of problems that way. Not everyone is the same. Tattooers handle their payments differently. Most people will have you pay at the end of each session rather than at the end of an entire tattoo. I think, people can be flaky, and so you don't want to get 3 sittings into a tattoo and then someone disappears on you. As far as how the pricing works, some people stick with a straight hourly rate, and some people use a flat day rate. I work off of a day rate. And the reason that I do that, sometimes I shoot myself in the foot over it, but I want to make sure that my clients are prepared and that I don't end up having to stop early because they ran out of money. When I start looking for stopping points 2 or 3 hours into a tattoo, I stay distracted the whole time. But if I know, as long as you can sit for this day, this is how much it's going to cost. You can, and they come prepared for that, and it gives me time to get into the piece, work as long as I need to, and take breaks. We're not worried about taking 2 or 3 breaks, eating lunch, taking a stretch break, because we're not going to run out of time. I should also say I only work on 1 piece a day, so I don't ever run into a second appointment or anything like that.
I want to give a special shout out to this video's sponsor, S8 Tattoo. You can check out all of their fantastic tattoo products through the link in the description below. Use the code Fireside to get 10% off of any tattoo product. Thanks again for watching, everyone. Be sure to check out our website at firesidetattoo.com for tons more content, including our weekly video podcast, our Fireside Technique series, courses, workshops with top tattooers and painters, and also unique Fireside merchandise. And be sure to subscribe for more exciting content coming soon. We'll catch you in the next video.